battle. Heartened by the report, the Jews revolted against Menelaus and retook their temple. But the report of Antiochus's death wasn't true. The evil ruler returned to Jerusalem, and when he heard about the Jewish revolt, he became furious. He took over the temple once again and put statues of Greek gods in it. He also stole all the sacred treasures that hadn't been taken before. Finally, he told the Jewish people that they could no longer observe their holy day, the Sabbath. Nor, he said, could they study the Torah, their holy book. Soon, soldiers began marching through the countryside to stamp out the Jewish faith. In time, they came to a small village where they began to terribly mistreat an old man named Mattathias. The soldiers didn't know it, but Mattathias' son, Judah, was nearby. Judah was brave, smart, and strong. So strong that he was known as the Maccabee, or the Hammer in Hebrew, the language of the Jewish people. Judah Maccabee fought the soldiers, along with some others in the village, and then fled to the nearby hills, where they formed an army to fight Antiochus. Judah's plans were so clever, and his soldiers so willing to follow them, that they were able to defeat the much larger armies of the foreign ruler. Once again, the Jewish people took back their beautiful temple. But what they found there made them weep. Statues of Greek gods stood everywhere. Weeds grew in the once carefully tended courtyard, and the furniture was burned and broken. But everyone set to work rebuilding and cleaning, and in time, the temple was better than ever. And so it was decided that a celebration should be held. But there was one problem. There was only enough holy oil to burn in the temple's lamp for one day. But then, a miracle happened. The lamp burned for 8 days with only 1 day's worth of oil. From that time onward, to this very day, Hanukkah is celebrated to help the Jewish people remember the miracle of the holy lamp in the temple and the time when they won back their religious freedom. Lighting candles on a candelabra called a menorah is one of the ways Jews celebrate the holiday. A special prayer is recited as the candles are lit, first in Hebrew and then in English. Besides saying prayers and lighting candles, Hanukkah is celebrated in many other ways, such as making special holiday foods, including cookies. Hanukkah cookies are usually cut into shapes. One of those shapes is the Star of David, a symbol of the Jewish people. Another shape is the dreidel, a top used in a game often played at Hanukkah time.
Very nice. How do they look?
They're nice and golden and pretty.
Once the cookies are baked, it's time to put on the frosting and the sprinkles, and perhaps sample some of the frosting.
Yummy.
Dr. Hyman is responsible for another holiday treat made from potatoes. They're potato pancakes called latkes. Some people call them latkes. To make them, cut up potatoes are shredded in a food processor or grater, and then mixed together with onions and spices. Friends often join the Hymans for a big Hanukkah dinner on the 8th and last day of what's called the Festival of Lights. This year, it's their next-door neighbors, the Foxes. After they arrive, Dr. Hyman continues making his latkes. The cooking oil in which they're fried is a reminder of the holy oil that miraculously burned for 8 days in the temple. In no time at all, the latkes merrily sizzle in the pans where they fry up to a golden brown. They look delicious, and they are delicious.
Okay guys, it's ready.
Some people, such as Max, like their latkes with applesauce. Others, like Sammy, like theirs plain. Grandpa Larry prefers his with sour cream. A few minutes later, as the last batch of latkes sizzle in the pan, Mr. Fox hands out gelt, chocolate candy wrapped in gold foil to look like coins. The coins are a reminder of the taxes the ancient Jews had to pay to the foreign rulers. The candy inside shows that freedom is sweet. Later, while the adults make the final preparations for the big holiday feast, the children play spin the dreidel. Each person who plays gets some beans and then places one into what is called the pot or kitty, which a lucky player, maybe it'll be Zach, can win. The dreidel is spun, and depending on which Hebrew letter faces upward when it stops, the player gets the whole pot, like Zach, or half the beans, or none, or the most unlucky player must put a bean in the kitty. Instead of beans, players sometimes use nuts, toothpicks, or pennies. Later, everyone gathers around the menorah. In the Hyman family, it's a tradition that the oldest family member lights the candles on the last night of the holiday. After the candles are lit, the food is set out for dinner. A traditional beef dish, brisket, is served. Another food commonly seen on Hanukkah is kugel, a sweet noodle casserole. And of course, there are latkes. To many Jewish people, gathering around the table for a big Hanukkah dinner is one of the best parts of the holiday. There's pleasant company, plenty of delicious food with second helpings if anyone wants them, interesting conversation, and lots of laughter. Hanukkah presents are passed out to the children after dinner and then promptly opened, one gift at a time.